There is no love in the universe more stubborn than a mother's love. Not distance, not time, not even death itself. And this story takes that truth and pushes it further than most stories dare to go. Past the boundary between the living and the dead. Past 10 years of separation. Past every rule that governs what is possible, because some mothers simply refuse to accept that any of those things are final when their child needs them. She died the night her son was born. Not from illness, not from something that came slowly and gave everyone time to prepare. She died in the most devastating way a young mother can. In the very moment that should have been the beginning of everything, she was taken. The child came into the world and she left it, and the cruelty of that exchange was the kind that leaves a wound in everyone who witnesses it. Her husband lost her in the same breath that he became a father. Her son entered life having never once felt safe in her arms, but she did not disappear. She woke somewhere else. The underworld is not, in this story, a place of punishment or darkness in the way myths usually describe it. It is simply the place where those who have left the living world continue in a different capacity. And for 10 years, she worked there, quietly, steadily, carrying the particular grief of someone who knows exactly what they are missing. She knew her son was growing up without her. She felt it the way you feel a wound that never fully closes, a persistent ache in the place where something essential used to be. And for 10 years she endured it, because the rules of the world between worlds are not made to be broken lightly. Then she found out what was happening to him. His name was Leon, and the life that should have been warm and protected and surrounded by people who loved him had become something she could barely stand to look at. A stepmother had entered the home. A woman named Mira, whose cruelty was not the loud, obvious kind, but the slow, grinding kind that leaves no visible marks and is therefore almost impossible for outsiders to identify or stop. Leon was being worn down, isolated, hurt in ways that a child has no vocabulary to describe and no adult in his life willing to truly see. And the damage was accumulating into something that the underworld itself had taken notice of. A darkness gathering around a child who had been given no light to push back against it. A destiny bending towards something that should never have been his path at all. She was given 1 month, 30 days to return to the world of the living, in a form that allowed her to act, to intervene, to do what she had been unable to do for 10 years. Not a ghost drifting helplessly through walls. Something with presence and purpose and the specific, terrifying focus of a mother who has been watching her child suffer from a distance she could not cross. Until now. What she did with that month was not gentle. It was not the soft, glowing return of someone who had made peace with everything. She moved through the world with precision and intent. Leon was the center of everything, protecting him, quietly dismantling the web of cruelty that Mira had constructed around him, making sure that every hidden action that woman had taken in the dark was brought carefully into the light in ways that could not be denied or explained away. Justice in this story does not arrive loudly. It arrives the way she had always done things, purposefully, completely, and without leaving a door open for the wrong people to walk back through. But Leon was not the only one who needed her. His father, Sandy, had been drowning for years in a grief he had never been taught how to carry. The loss of her had broken something in him that he had simply learned to function around, rather than heal. And part of her 30 days was spent on him too. Not dramatically, not in ways he could fully explain afterward, but in the quiet, persistent way that love operates when it refuses to leave someone alone in their pain. When the month ended, the family that had been shattered on the night of Leon's birth was not simply repaired. It was rebuilt into something new, shaped by loss and survival, and a love that had crossed a boundary no love is supposed to cross. The reunion that closed this story was not the one anyone had planned or predicted. It was better than that. It was the kind of ending that could only have been written by someone who fought for it from the other side of death, and she had fought every single day.